Welcome to one of Japan's best-kept secrets, a place that feels like it's straight out of a fantasy novel. This is Aogashima, a volcanic island where about 170 people live their daily lives inside an active volcanic crater. That's right, a village inside a volcano inside another volcano, and yet somehow it remains one of Japan's most overlooked destinations. Getting to Aogashima is an adventure in itself. Located about 200 miles south of Tokyo, this tiny island is part of the Izu archipelago. The journey starts with a flight or boat ride to Hachijojima, the neighboring island. From there, visitors have two options: a helicopter ride that takes 20 minutes, or a ferry that runs only on good weather days. The helicopter approach provides the most dramatic introduction to the island. As it circles above, passengers can see the perfect circular formation rising from the blue ocean. The view reveals why this island has been compared to something from Jurassic Park. A circular crater rising dramatically from the sea, with steep green walls surrounding a smaller inner crater. What makes Aogashima truly special is its double volcano structure, known as a complex volcano. The outer crater is about 3 to 4 kilometers in diameter, while the inner crater, called Maruyama, sits in the southern part of the island. This geological formation is called a caldera within a caldera. The island was formed by volcanic activity over 13,000 years ago, and yes, it's still considered active today, though the last major eruption was back in the 1780s. That eruption was so severe that many islanders evacuated, and for nearly 50 years the island remained uninhabited. The highest point on the island reaches about 423 meters above sea level, offering truly spectacular views in all directions. The outer crater walls are incredibly steep, in some places nearly vertical, creating natural ramparts that have protected and isolated this community for centuries. These dramatic cliffs covered in lush vegetation create an almost fortress-like appearance when viewed from the sea. Today, around 170 resilient people call this volcanic island home. The village is nestled within the larger crater, with houses spread across the caldera floor. Despite its isolation, the community here has everything they need: a school, a post office, a small general store, and even a sauna powered by volcanic steam. The islanders are remarkably self-sufficient. Many grow their own vegetables in the incredibly fertile volcanic soil. They've also developed unique cooking methods using the natural geothermal heat from the volcano. Local specialties include sweet potatoes cooked underground using volcanic steam, which are said to have an exceptionally sweet flavor thanks to this natural cooking method. The island's school is particularly fascinating. With only about 15 students total across all grades, education here is highly personalized. The school balances the standard Japanese curriculum with practical skills that are useful for island life. Many students eventually leave for higher education on the mainland, but there's a growing trend of young people returning to preserve their unique heritage. If you're enjoying this journey to one of Japan's most fascinating hidden gems, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We explore unique destinations like this one every week, and trust us, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Drop a comment too if you've ever heard of Aogashima before, or if you'd consider visiting. So what is there to do on this remote volcanic island? Surprisingly, quite a lot. Hiking is the main attraction here. There's a trail that takes visitors up to the rim of the outer crater, offering spectacular 360-degree views of the Pacific Ocean. Another trail leads down to the inner crater, Maruyama, which feels like stepping into another world with its lush vegetation. One of the island's coolest features is the hinya, a natural sauna where volcanic steam rises through cracks in the earth. Locals have built a small structure around one of these vents, creating a geothermal sauna that's free for anyone to use. At night, the lack of light pollution makes Aogashima one of Japan's premier stargazing spots. The night sky here is absolutely breathtaking, with visibility that's impossible to experience in urban areas. For those interested in photography, the island offers endless opportunities. The contrast between the deep blue ocean, the green crater walls, and often dramatic cloud formations creates scenes that seem almost too perfect to be real. Sunrise and sunset are particularly magical times, with the crater walls creating fascinating shadow patterns as the light changes. There are also hidden beaches accessible only via narrow paths down the outer crater walls. One such location is a secluded cove where volcanic black sand meets crystal clear water, often with no other visitors in sight. These aren't typical tourist beaches with facilities, but rather untouched stretches of coastline where one might not see another soul all day. The people of Aogashima have developed a unique culture influenced by their isolation and volcanic surroundings. Their dialect is distinct from mainland Japanese, and they have their own traditions and festivals. One local specialty is shochu, a distilled spirit made from sweet potatoes. The islanders have been producing their own shochu for generations, using a traditional distilling process and volcanic water that gives it a distinctive flavor. This local brew is strong but surprisingly smooth, and an important part of island celebrations. Seasonal fishing festivals are important community events. The entire community gathers at the harbor to welcome the boats returning with their catch. What follows is an impressive display of traditional food preparation techniques passed down through generations. Elders show younger islanders how to properly clean and preserve different types of fish, with some varieties being prepared for immediate consumption while others are salt-cured or dried for the winter months. The island also has its own distinct musical traditions, featuring traditional instruments and songs that tell stories of the island's history, including tales of past eruptions and the islanders' relationship with the volcano they call home. For those thinking of visiting Aogashima, here are a few things to keep in mind. Accommodations are limited to a handful of minshuku, Japanese-style guest houses, and a free campsite. The minshuku typically offer home-cooked meals featuring local ingredients, providing a true taste of island cuisine. There's only one small store on the island, so visitors should bring any specific supplies they might need. Cash is essential as there are no ATMs. Most importantly, travelers should be flexible with their plans. Bad weather can delay boats and helicopters for days, so building some buffer time into schedules is strongly recommended. The island has limited cell phone reception, though most accommodations offer Wi-Fi. For photography enthusiasts, extra batteries and memory cards are essential. The dramatic landscapes will have anyone shooting constantly, and charging opportunities can be limited. A good tripod is essential for night photography of the incredibly starry skies. For hikers, proper footwear is a must. The volcanic terrain can be loose and slippery, especially after rain. The locals are incredibly helpful about recommending which trails are safe depending on current conditions. Aogashima represents a unique harmony between humans and one of nature's most powerful forces. A community that doesn't just survive beside a volcano, but has found a way to thrive because of it. In our increasingly connected world, places like Aogashima remind us that there are still adventures to be had off the beaten path. Experiences that can't be replicated through a screen or captured in a single Instagram post. For those looking for a destination that combines natural wonder, cultural uniqueness, and a sense of genuine discovery, Aogashima deserves a spot on any adventurous traveler's bucket list.